is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendes, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
Today I'm here with Avni Patel. Did I get that right?
Yes.
Awesome. I am at the CHASHAMA Arts Open Art Studios. Thank you so much for being on the podcast. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, thank you. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself as an artist?
So, as an artist, I'm an abstract painter, expressionist. My work is about nature, sound, music, elements of textiles, and just joyfulness in my paintings.
Yes. The thing I like that caught my attention about your art is that it's very happy. It like takes you to a portal, and it brings like happiness and relaxed. Do you work only with paintings, or do you do other mediums?
I only do paintings, acrylic paint and paint markers, but I like to explore with different forms of paper and on plastic and any material I can find
Nice.
to play with.
And what's your creative process like when you come to the studio? Do you get to work right away? Do you have to have a coffee, meditate, read the newspaper? How is that for you?
So when I come to the studio, I just like to sit for a moment, look at my paintings, look at my color studies, that which I create about 300-400 drawings. I call them my vocabularies. So I look at them and then I start the process.
Oh, nice.
With the whole, like with my music and my dance, and I go with the color, playfulness with them.
Oh, wow. And do you like to work more in the daytime or nighttime, or are you like spontaneous?
I'm a more daytime, morning person. So I usually get around 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm here till like 4 or 5 o'clock. So that gives me more energy. I think the mornings are the best to work.
I love that. And how do you keep track of your ideas? Do you have like a little sketchbook or notepad?
They're all spontaneous. I don't have
wow.
I do have a sketchbook. I draw in my sketchbook, but they're all spontaneously done.
Wow, that's so cool. So like when you start a painting, it's like a very organic process for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And
Yeah.
when you start a painting, are you able to finish that painting right away, or does it take you a couple
It
days?
takes a process. It takes a
Okay.
couple of days, so it needs to dry, and then I think about more of my patterns. I go back next day with my more patterns and color studies.
Oh, wow.
So I'm always like evolving, exploring in different elements in
That's
my
so
paintings.
cool. And do you work on multiple paintings at once, or do you like to be...
So if I have a exhibition coming up,
Yeah.
I would do multiple. But then if
Okay.
I don't have a show, I'll do
just
a
take your
painting at a
time.
time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And can you tell us any projects you're working on at the moment or next year?
So right now I have a mural up in Crown Heights,
Oh, nice.
989 Pacific Street.
Okay.
And then I have a solo show coming up in Manhattan.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. And next month
Okay.
through Q Art Foundation. And then
Oh,
I have
nice.
a show up right now at Penn State University.
Oh, congrats.
And the next show will be upstate New York, solo.
Oh, wow. You're a busy lady. Congratulations.
thank
Always good to
you.
be busy. Do you mind sharing your Instagram so the listeners can keep track of your future shows and hopefully attend as well?
Yes, so my Instagram is unique underscore AVANI. So unique UNIQUE underscore AVANI.
Awesome. And do you have any projects or like dream collaborations that you want to do in the future, like big sculptures or a different medium you want to try?
Yes, I really want to create a big sculpture out of my little creatures. So I think that will connect with three-dimensional landscape and also, the movement of nature. I would love to do that.
I love that.
I
'Cause,
would
like,
love
the first
to do.
thing
Yeah.
I noticed when I saw your work, it reminded me, like, at first I thought beautiful work, of course, but I also thought those like large sculptures that they do at a music festival,
Yeah.
or like a cool playground for kids that's like 3D where they can climb. I think it would be so cool.
Yeah.
And do you mind sharing an advice for young artists that want to start being an artist or start practicing art, but they don't know what to do or they're a little scared? Like, do you have any advice for them?
Yes, just believe in yourself, keep going. Me as a young artist many years ago, I never gave up. Even though New York is a tough place to be an artist, but I've been doing it for 25 years. So
Oh, wow.
keep going and just create something that's in you. Never give up.
Oh, I love that. And do you think how would you say your work has changed over the 25 years, like when you first started to now?
So first, it has been evolving, which is I love in my work. It has changed, but the true darkness of colors are still in my paintings.
Yeah.
So it's going in a happy mode, the recent work.
Oh, wow.
And its connection with like nature and human.
Oh, wow.
So that's what my work is based on now.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
And once you paint a painting, and if like you're not sure how to finish or you don't like it, do you normally throw that painting out, or do you leave it aside and go back to it in the future?
I always correct that painting.
Okay.
I never throw it out because I don't like to throw anything away.
Yeah.
As like an environmentalist,
Yeah.
you don't want to harm things.
Yeah.
So I make something that's destroyed into, again,
nice.
the process of overlapping of
Yeah.
more colors and patterns.
Oh, wow. And do you ever go back to your old work and try to like reference yourself a little bit, or like redo something you did in
I
the past?
do. I go back and forth looking at my old work, and I'm like, oh, how did I do that?
Yeah.
And now I need to recreate that in the new work.
That's so cool.
So-
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much for being on the
Thank
podcast. Can you share your Instagram one more time for the listeners?
Yeah, so Instagram is unique_AVANI.
Perfect. Thank you again.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online. This is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendes, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
All right, guys. Today I'm here with Annika with Ooh Baby at booth 109. How are you today?
I'm great. I'm so happy.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I love the grills, by the way. That's such a
Thank
cool
you.
detail. Would you mind telling us a little bit about your work and your booth here?
Yeah, sure. So I'm the designer behind Ooh Baby by Annika. That's me. Basically what I do is every garment I design starts off with a painting.
Oh,
so
nice.
every seasonal collection has basically the painting collection,
Yeah.
right? So you'll see it come in through prints and colorways, and my jackets are one of my special linings you can see here. So trench coats are one of my favorite things to design. So you'll
congrats.
see that a lot on the page. So yeah, that's what I do.
And can you tell us a little bit about your creative process? Like, how do ideas come to you?
So I normally start off my ideas with a concept, like
Okay.
what am I trying to bring across to people, and then I go on to what is the subject. So like, for example, lately I've been doing photographs that
Okay.
have been my basis for the
nice.
collection. So you'll see photos of Bushwick,
Okay.
which is where my studio is in Brooklyn.
Oh, nice.
Also photos of New York City, and then I print those out and I paint on them depending on the concept.
that's so dope.
Yeah, a lot of layers.
And how, you have so much work here. How do you keep track of your ideas? Do you like write them down? Have like the notes on the iPhone, like a sketchbook? How does that work for you?
I do spreadsheets, actually.
Oh,
I
nice.
love spreadsheets, especially when I do clothing. I have to keep everything super organized
Yeah.
because I have samples coming in. So spreadsheets are the best.
Oh,
yeah,
that's so dope.
And I do a lot of Adobe Illustrator, obviously, with
Oh,
the tech
okay.
packs of
Yeah.
designing clothing and things. So that also keeps me organized,
Oh,
too.
that's dope.
Yeah.
And like, what's your studio ritual like? When you first come in, do you get to work right away? Do you have a coffee, meditate, like get the vibes, and then get to work? How does that work for you?
Yeah, normally I try to get in as early as I can, unless I've stayed up all night.
Yeah.
So that depends. But normally I start off with a coffee. I blast music. I have
Okay.
hula hoops in the studio. I have my
Okay.
roller skates in the studio.
Oh, nice.
So it depends on the day, but I normally like to start it off creatively, like
Yeah.
not right in the emails.
Oh,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Very
so maybe
smart,
just a little
yeah.
like creative energy going and
Yeah.
good music.
Oh, I
Yeah.
love that. You have such a good vibe.
Thanks.
And do you have any like dream projects that you want to do in the future, where it's like big life-size sculptures or collabs or anything like that?
You know, I honestly, I just want to continue to scale my business. Right
Uh-huh.
now, I'm on such a incline, and I'm so excited to continue sharing this.
Yeah.
So basically, I just want to focus on making the best product that I can, and I know that whatever's meant to be will be. And collaborations, of course, with like larger brands. I think my biggest goal is getting into a couple large stores like
Yeah.
across the United States and hopefully internationally. I won't limit that to like a specific company or
Yeah.
person, but basically just continued on to living off my designs and art and growing the brand and bringing it to more people. That's what I want. Yeah.
And then, do you have any advice for like young art? Because a lot of listeners always ask me, "Oh, can you ask your guests like what's an advice for like a young artist that like wants to try but they're scared, they don't know how to start? Like, what would you tell them?"
Like, my advice would be figure out where this feeling is coming from. Like, is it a genuine feeling? What avenue do you want to go into? Do you want to go into painting, clothing? Do you want to try it all? And then my kind of deciding factor to, like, I had to make money, right?
Yeah.
So I dropped out of college and I had to make money. So I found a sales channel, and that happened to be a street market. And that literally changed my life because it was in front of so many people, which I recommend. Going to your local markets. Every city has a market. Go bring your art, bring your clothes, bring your whatever, photographs. Bring them there in front of people, get their feedback, sell it, get it out there in the world, and it starts to like go like a tumbleweed. Yeah. So I would just say get it in front of as many people as you can.
That's dope. And going back to your art, I see like you seem to use like a lot of mediums. Like I'm guessing like spray paint, acrylic. Can you like describe a little bit like about the materials you use? Yeah,
each piece like changes up, and obviously I love clothes so much that I have a lot of fabric samples. So basically I'll use like some patches, which is a signature of Ooh Baby. Spray paint, you're totally right. Graffiti markers.
Dope.
I just started with oil, so I have an oil painting over there, which is awesome.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, this one's got like a leather belt in it. So I really like using textiles because it ties into clothing so well.
That's so on brand. That's so genius. Well,
thank
you so much for being on the podcast. Can you just plug in your Instagram one more time?
Yeah, my Instagram is Ooh Baby by Annika. OOHBABYBYANIKA. Ooh Baby by Annika.
Thank you so much, guys. Check her work. It's so dope. She's at booth 109. And thank you again. It was a pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online. This is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendes, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
Today I'm with Megan Olson at the Brooklyn Army Terminal during the CHASHAMA Open Studios. How are you, Megan?
I'm good, thank you.
You have such a calm demeanor, and I love your voice. You would do great for like recording audiobooks.
Oh, good.
But anyway, back to the artiste. How are you today?
I'm good.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast. I have to say, her studio is so cool. There's so much like mediums and colors. Can you describe yourself a little bit as an artist?
Sure. I'm an abstract painter.
Okay.
And I have a lot of inspiration from the early modernist painters of the 30s and 40s.
Oh, wow.
And while I was in school in San Francisco in the 90s, I hung out with a lot of graffiti writers.
Oh, wow.
And so I kind of merged both of these influences into an abstract form of my own sort of abstracted language.
Yeah.
And so now when I do it, it's almost like automatic writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, it's so like I never seen anything like this, and you just said it beautifully. Like it's so authentic. Like it does bring back to the graffiti, like the inspiration, but the way you did it is so like magnificent. And can you tell me a little bit about your creative process? Like how do ideas come to you?
Usually I start with color. I'm really, really interested in color theory and how colors work together. There are certain colors that I use because of the palette, just a personal choice. There are some pieces that I've done in the past that were sort of based on different challenges that my color theory teacher had presented. One was psychological color, local color, social color. There's all of these conceptual ideas behind color too. So for me, color is really one of the most important starting points. And because, like I'd said, it's sort of an abstracted visual language that I've created, the decisions come as I go. I don't usually have a really pre-planned idea.
So it's very organic for you.
Very much so. And I began getting inspired by nature. That's what led to abstraction. So I think it grows organically.
Yeah. The thing I liked about your painting, it's like a portal that sucks you in, and it's like very peaceful and mindful. It's like the state you go to in meditation, and I love the colors.
Thank you.
And like, what's your studio ritual like when you come in? Are you able to get like to work right away?
Yes.
Or do you have to have a coffee or meditate or anything like that?
No, you know what? You're right. Actually, I do. I need to. I make a tea.
Oh, wow,
I have a lot of different kinds of tea
Oh,
here.
fancy.
I love coffee in the morning, but when I come here, I'll have some tea, and I decide what I'm going to jump into. Usually it's something smaller where I'm sitting down and just sort of approaching it on the easel.
Okay.
I do have, as you can see, some very large pieces, so I might warm up and get into the bigger pieces a little later in the day. But I definitely like to sit with my tea and just sort of contemplate what's
That's very
in front
cool,
of me.
yeah. Do you happen to have like a dancer background or anything like that?
That is so interesting. I personally don't, but my husband has worked for Bill T. Jones, the famous dancer, for many, many years. And so I do think seeing so much modern dance has definitely influenced the work a little. Just movement is important. And
because your work, especially, there's such a beautiful like coordination, it's so like it flows so beautifully together. And like what inspires you? Like what motivates you to do art?
I think for me, I've been doing art since literally I was 2. It was just something that both of my parents, they divorced when I was 2, but they both were very interested in art. My father was a painter. My mother's really, really creative, and it was a value in my family, and I was an only child, so I think I spent so much time alone being really interested in drawing and coloring and all of the things that you do as a kid, but I just kept going with it.
That's so beautiful.
And
do you have those drawings or any artwork from that era?
My mother has a couple of things, and there's this one newsletter my elementary school did where I have all these little drawings in it, and what's funny is I signed every single one.
No way. Oh my gosh.
I don't know
That's
why.
so fabulous.
It's hilarious, but at this point I have to do art, and I don't really care so much about career. I have had a pretty good career with it, but that's not the motivation at all for me. It's just about, for me, pushing the materials and the medium as far as I can, and hope that I influence or at least inspire other artists.
Oh wow, that's beautiful.
And have that kind of feedback between artists.
Oh wow. And how do you keep track of your ideas? Like, do you have like a notepad or a sketchbook, or does it all just like sit up there in the iCloud in your brain?
Unfortunately, I write everything down,
but
in multiple places.
Oh, okay.
And I've been actually working on a book.
Congrats.
For like 15 years.
Wow.
Just keep writing about graffiti and modernism.
Oh, wow, okay.
It's just the things that inspire me and the similarities that I see between the two forms. Yeah. And really trying to give people that have done graffiti as their art form a voice in the fine art world, because they're incredibly talented people and really inspirational, and a lot of them do abstract art in their studio practices. Oh wow. So there's just this connection that I have to that world and this modernist sort of formal world and fine art, and I keep writing about it.
Oh wow. And do you ever go back to your old work and like try to reference something or like redo something? No?
No.
Oh wow.
No, I really don't.
Have you created like an archive of your work that you can like visit when you feel like it?
I'm in the process, which is interesting. I'm in this group called the American Abstract Artists. It was formed in 1936.
Oh wow, okay.
And it was when abstraction was not considered a relevant, legitimate art form, and they were fighting really hard to be heard. Wow. So I'm in this very amazing group, and because of the way everything's being digitized now, I found it really important to start digitizing the archives that we have in the group. So I'm the chair of the archive committee, and I'm spending a lot of my time archiving other artists' work right now.
That's so
just
nice.
As just sort of a labor of love.
Yeah.
my own is sort of suffering, but I do I do have plans to get to my own archive.
Oh, wow. And can you share your Instagram with us so we can like check you out and see any events coming up?
It's Megan Olson Art.
Okay.
And it's MEGANOLSONART.
Oh, perfect. I always joke with people I interview, like whenever I ask for the Instagram, it's like we become cheerleaders because we start spelling. Right. And do you have any events coming up this year or next year?
I do actually. Excuse me. A friend of mine she has a store in the East Hampton.
Okay.
And she's doing a pop-up in the Lower East Side.
Oh, nice.
It's to be announced later in December, where they're going to feature my work. But I also have started painting on clothing.
Oh, nice.
So
okay.
I'm going to do a little capsule for that event.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm in a group show in February with the American Abstract Artists. I'm not sure the venue and the information about that.
Okay.
And
make sure to follow her, you guys, so we can all see.
Thank you so much.
Of course. And thank you so much, Megan. It's been a pleasure meeting you. You have the coolest vibe so far today. So chill, so relaxing. Sorry for my delayed brain. I've been doing this since like 7 a.m. And yeah, guys, go please follow her. She's amazing. The work is amazing. Everything is amazing. And hopefully we see each other then on your next show, okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online. This is Tarik Talk. Your host, Tarik Mendes, takes you on a journey with guests from all around the world. Broadcasting around the world. Around the world. This is Tarik Talk.
All right, guys, today I'm here with James at the CHASHAMA Open Art Studios. Do you mind sharing with us your Instagram, James?
Sure. It's James Frederick Rose.
And can you spell that for the non-English speaking people?
Yes. JamesFrederikrose.
Perfect. And can you tell me a little bit about yourself as an artist?
Well, I've been painting for several years. I went to art school. I've been here at CHASHAMA for about 8 years. And originally from upstate New York, but spent a long time in California. And I'm here now in New York City for about 12, 13 years now.
Oh, wow.
So I've been around. And my paintings are about my experiences and what's like meaningful to me, how it makes me feel, my life, basically.
And what's your creative like inspiration? What are you inspired by?
Right now, it's about how I feel when I'm in the outdoors, like when I go out into like the wilderness or to the beach. Yeah, just like the elements. I'm feeling the elements, and like water is something that's really something that I feel has like a lot of meaning. Makes me feel like completely changes like my whole consciousness when I like get into the water or when I'm around water. Yeah. And there's also like a lot of just as like human beings, water has a lot of meaning to us. It's like life, transformation, everything about water. So when my main thing I'm looking at right now in painting is like water in like natural places.
Can you go, because you seem to be like a nature person, I am myself as well. Can you go long periods of time without being in nature or by water?
No,
right?
No, I have to go. Like, I'm drawn to it. I need to be near it. Like, I was in San Francisco. It's like a peninsula surrounded by water. Now I'm in Brooklyn, which is the studio here. CHASHAMA is right on the water. And I live, in Bay Ridge, which is near the Verrazano, on the water. And I love it. I try to get out on boats. I paint the harbor, go to the beach. I paint the beach. I go up in the mountains. I'm near a stream or a waterfall.
Okay, cool. And how do you keep track of your ideas? Because I see you have so many different subjects. Do you have like a notepad or a sketchbook or?
I go around sometimes with a large pad of paper, like 16 by 20 inch. I like Bristol because it's smooth.
That's dedication.
Yeah, I like smooth Bristol and charcoal, and I can like really get in there and like move the charcoal around. It just kind of glides around on the surface of the Bristol paper. and it's bright white, so I can bring these whites out of
that's so
you know,
cool.
like lots of tones, grays and blacks. So I do that from life. I go and draw from life, and that's mostly like around the city. I'll go to like Prospect Park and sit on a bench and draw a tree.
Yeah.
Or, you know, just anywhere around Brooklyn. But I also, for years, I was interested in painting subways and people moving around on subways. And I've kind of made the connection from that work to this work, in that we are all made out of water.
Yeah.
And when you see that could be a waterfall, that painting right there, the people coming down the stairs. It's like
that's
a human waterfall, you know, full of water. We're all full of blood and water, you know, and it has maybe the same sort of feeling to me. So that's like a connection I've been able to make about my past work. I haven't gone back to urban settings in a while. It's been a couple of years. I've been focused on nature and the outdoors.
Oh, wow. So from those sketches that you do when you're outside, do those get transferred and become actual
Definitely.
paintings?
I learn a lot from that. I also take photographs. I have my cell phone. And I'm just I see something and I'm like, click. I'll take like a million photos.
Yeah.
I have like hundreds of photos from a hike, you know.
Nice.
And, you know, I go out. I have a son. I have a 12-year-old son. And
congrats.
He's like my partner. And we go out and roam around the woods and find swimming holes. And,
nice.
You know, nice
into
vistas.
painting too?
No, not really. He's creative. He's probably going to get into film. He'd be thrilled to know more about your podcast.
Of course,
like
have him reach out.
Yeah, because that's something he'd be interested in.
Oh, that's cool.
You know, he wants to get into like film production.
Yeah.
He's always commenting on like the sound quality of a movie or something like that. You know, these little. He has like an ear for that.
Yeah,
he's really
that's an extra
interested in
talent.
that.
He could be the next Scorsese, as
Maybe,
they say, right?
yeah.
That'll be dope.
Yeah.
And then, do you have like any studio ritual practices? Like when you first come in, can you get to work right away? You have to have a coffee, meditate.
I need to chill out for a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, just spend some time here. I drink tea.
Get the
I was
vibes.
really excited when they put the hot water dispenser outside here. It's right outside my studio.
Yeah.
So as soon as that was brought in here, I went and got a bunch of tea and a mug, and I drink some green tea and listen to some music. Put my headphones on. And I don't want to spend. It's tricky once you open up the computer and all of a sudden you're on like social media and stuff. You know, I'll spend a little while. Spend a little while, but then I gotta like switch it off. And I try to like have like an idea, something I want to paint when I come in here, so I can like get started.
Yeah.
And it's good also to like stop in a painting where you know what you're going to do next.
Yeah.
So that when you come in here, you have it already. You're going to roll right into your next thing, you know, because it's already, you know, I know what I need to do. I know, and once I get started, then it's like an obsession for like 3 hours. I'm
nice.
Yeah, I'm listening to music and painting.
Do you like to work in the daytime, nighttime, or for you it's like
more
spontaneous?
nighttime?
More nighttime.
Yeah, definitely.
And when you start a painting, like, are you able to like step back? Because I interview a lot of artists. I've done like over 100 episodes so far. A lot of like 50. It's like 50-50. 50% they're able to like step back and continue the artwork, where other 50 like they have so much anxiety to not finish it. To finish it, and otherwise they lose the thought. Which one would you describe yourself as?
I like to finish things as quickly as possible. You know, it's like I said, it's like you get obsessed with it, you know. But I can stop.
Yeah.
And then and also it is good to stop. Like I said, also like it's good to stop where you know the next thing you're gonna do.
Yeah.
So when you come into the studio, you get right into it.
Yeah.
But I do like to finish things as quickly as possible. I'm a pretty fast painter.
Yeah. And do you work like on multiple paintings at once? Or?
I do. Yeah, I do. For the most part, I'll start one and then finish it, but I can have a couple going at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it. I've been doing interviews today since 7 a.m.
Okay.
The fact that you have CDs, that's the coolest thing I've seen today. I have not seen an art studio with actual CDs.
Oh, the CDs.
In so long. This is so cool to see.
Yeah. I am usually streaming my music, but I do have a CD collection still.
Yeah.
It shows my age a little bit.
No, not at all. That's so rare to like actually find.
I got my like punk rock over there ready to go.
And do you have any like dream projects or collabs that like you want to do, whether it's like big sculptures or like life-size sculptures? Do you have anything?
Let's see. Well, I've just got a residency, and that's something that's always kind of like escaped me. So I'm really excited about this coming summer.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to be on a vineyard in Sonoma.
Oh, nice.
It's going to be awesome for 2 weeks. I got this house to myself right on the Russian River.
Oh, wow.
So I'm going to be able to like paint this like body of work about this river, how it kind of twists through this land, and it feeds the vineyard, it feeds the life there. This river is like the artery that goes through that land.
That's so dope.
So I'm really excited about that. So I guess as far as like bodies of work, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing now.
Oh wow.
You know, I'm really excited about what I'm doing right now.
Very dope. And can you share your Instagram with us so people can follow you and check out your work?
Sure. It's James Frederick Rose.
Okay.
Yep.
Perfect.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, James. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Nice to meet you too.
Hopefully see each other around.
Okay.
Who knows?
All right.
Till next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Tarik Talk. Follow Tarik Talk on all social media channels and check out the video interviews online.